right here. What an awesome pass through the slot, onto the stick of Batherson. Kachuk inside Olenski, got it, scores! Brady Kachuk wins it in overtime for Ottawa.
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon, and I am your host. Now, before we get started, make sure to follow us on Twitter at @SensTalk_, and on Instagram at Sens Talk as well. Go to SeatGeek.com and use promo code Sens Talk. You'll save $20 off your first purchase. Make sure to take advantage of that great deal today. Speaking of today is the first day of 2022, so Happy New Year's to everybody watching this. Here's hoping for a fantastic year of 2022. Let's be honest, 2021 really sucked, so here's hoping for a much better year here in 2022. Now, Ottawa did not have a good 2021 whatsoever. They're looking to flip the script here in 2022, and they got off to a bad foot as they lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, 6-0. An absolute onslaught, a beating by Toronto tonight. You know, Ottawa has some excuses, though. Before tonight's game, Ottawa had 6 players in COVID-19 protocol. That includes Nick Paul, Josh Norris, Dylan Hetherington, Jacob Bernard-Docker, Tyler Ennis, and Anton Forsberg. So yeah, you know, Ottawa's leading goal scorer, Josh Norris, was out. He's also the number 1 center. And of course, Anton Forsberg, the goaltender, who's been Ottawa's best goaltender as of late, was out as well. So yeah, a couple of big losses for Ottawa's lineup tonight. A couple of big holes. But, you know, at the end of the day, Ottawa, you know, the bottom 6 had a lot of AHL or NHL depth guys, you know, guys that normally wouldn't be playing, but because of COVID, they were there. These are guys that are not likely going to be regulars in the National Hockey League. You know, I don't really want to name names because listen, they're fine players, okay, but they're not exactly elite talents either. So when you have a lot of the same sort of player in the bottom 6 that can't really generate any offense, and then you're going against a team like Toronto, who is one of the best offensive teams in the National Hockey League, it's tough because now you're relying too much on one line of Timmy Stützle, who was a first-line center tonight for half the game. For some reason, DJ Smith switched him and Turney in the second half, putting Stützle on the second line and then Turney on the first line. I didn't really understand that, but regardless, you're putting too much pressure on the first line because now, especially with Norris out, pushing Stützle to the first line, you have that bottom 6 with all those players, all six of those players in those bottom 2 lines are defensive first players. Name me one player on that bottom 6 that is offense orientated. I can't. So because of that, you don't have any offense coming from the bottom 6. The top 6 is having difficulties because, yeah, they're missing the number 1 center, the leading goal scorer, Josh Norris. So right off the bat, it's a terrible string of luck for the Ottawa Senators before the game even starts. Add on to the fact that Ottawa had a face-off percentage of below 25 to 30%. The Leafs tonight won around 75 to 70% of the face-offs. So take on the fact that Ottawa's injury forward core was absolutely depleted. And then add on to the fact that they couldn't win any faceoffs. The Leafs had puck possession not only because they had better forwards and better talent throughout their lineup so they can roll much more consistent lines to generate offense, but they were also winning all the key faceoffs, which allowed them to control possession of the game, control possession of the puck, and really kill the time of the game and, you know, really kill the Sanders' chances of getting anything going because Ottawa never really had a chance to even get anything going because they never really had the puck. Most of the shots Ottawa had tonight were coming from the blue line. You know, no real high danger chances for Ottawa throughout the night. You know, Formenton had a couple of nice chances, but hey, listen, you know, yeah, I wish he would have buried a couple of those. I'll be honest. 1 or 2 of those chances probably should have went in the back of the net. But at the end of the day, Ottawa didn't generate enough chances to begin with to even win this game. I can probably count the amount of scoring chances they had on this hand. 3 to 5 chances all night they had to put the puck in the back of the net. So, you know, yeah, they lost over 75% of the faceoffs. They had 6 players in COVID-19 protocol, 2 key players included in that. But at the end of the day, when you have a forward core that's depleted, putting a lot of pressure on a couple players without their normal center, it's going to happen. And when you're losing the faceoffs too, it's just a recipe for disaster. And that's what happened tonight. You know, and the officiating, I want to mention this too. Ottawa was going to lose this game regardless. And I want to make that clear. Ottawa was not going to win this game. This is probably the most boring Sander game I have watched in a while. Like, I mean, it was just the Leafs consistently putting a lot of pressure on the Sanders. So, you know, it was probably one of the most boring games I've seen Ottawa play in a while. Like I said, they didn't really have any puck possession. But the refs, especially in the first period of play, were absolutely abysmal. The first 2 penalties called on Ottawa were not even borderline at best. They were just not penalties. You could even make the argument that maybe Toronto should have been called for an embellishment on 1 or 2 of those, especially the Gaudette second penalty, which was like a hook. Clearly not a hook. So yeah, the officiating was kind of questionable throughout the entire game. The Leafs unfortunately scored on the final power play, but overall, Ottawa's penalty kill played pretty well, making them go 1 for 6 tonight on the power play. So, Ottawa did play well on the penalty kill, but once again, I'd say at least 3 or 4 of those calls that the refs had probably should not have been made. Now, I mentioned this before or earlier in the video. I'm going to say it now here. Matt Murray played fantastic tonight, all right? Listen, I know he gave up 6 goals, and I would say at least 3 of those goals he probably should have stopped, especially one of those goals on the wraparound. Big rebound, he has to stop that. But listen, especially those first 2 goals in the first period of play, shorthanded. Both the second one on a breakaway, the first one one-timer. Listen, Matt Murray has not been great, okay? But tonight, he was the best Senator by far, in my opinion. He gave the Senators a chance, especially early on in the game, to have an opportunity, to even have a chance to win this game. Listen, in the third period of play, the Leafs were only up by 3 goals, and they were absolutely dominating. That's thanks to Matt Murray making some key stops. So, yeah, a couple of those goals he definitely wants back. But at the end of the day, he made some big stops. So that's something to build off of. Hopefully he can see that and see the positives. And hopefully he can see that the positives hopefully will outweigh the negatives as he tries to rebuild his National Hockey League career here in Ottawa. So next game, I don't even know what it's going to be, to be honest. Monday's game against Minnesota is postponed because here in Ontario, we're not allowed to have fans in the crowd. So, the NHL is postponing games due to attendance restrictions. So I really don't know the next time we'll have a Sens game to watch. But I'll see you guys soon. We'll have some new content, either a new interview with like an Angus Crookshank or something, or, just another cool piece of content, maybe a new series, maybe do a top 10 series. We'll see. So stay tuned on the lookout for that. But, before we wrap things up, let's get to the Sens Talk Star of the Night. What about you, the fans? We got a lot of votes here, about 81, and with 49.4% of the vote, it's Alex Formerton as your Sens Talk Star of the Night. I can't disagree with that, to be honest with you. He looked pretty good throughout the night. Probably could have scored once or twice, but his speed is such a factor. It allows him to get so many chances. He just needs to start burying those chances. If he can start burying those chances, watch out National Hockey League, because no one is stopping this kid. Besides that, thank you all for watching once again. I don't know when the next Senators game is going to be. It will, at the very least, it will be in the next few days against Seattle, I think, on the 5th or 6th. But until then, I'll see you then. So besides that, thank you for watching. Make sure to like this video, share this really cool stuff, and of course, click the big red button down there and make it great, and subscribe to us. Most importantly of all, turn the notification bell on to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate the support. I'll see you very, very soon. Go Sens, go.